recording right now, so we can talk about it in camera. So advanced conversation, training for advanced. Here. On advanced conversation, what we do is first, one of the first objectives that we take is understanding comedy. Sometimes something about very high control of vocabulary is understanding what people are saying and understanding the puns. A pun is a game of words. So there are some things, some words that look and sound similar, that when you make the perfect combination on them, it becomes funny. If you are able to make a joke in English, you have a massive master of vocabulary. So here there is a demo of the stationary versus stationary, which are two words that look very similar, but the meaning are very different. The meaning is very different. So comedy, we understand comedy. The other thing is understanding some phrases, but in an idiomatic way. What kind of phrases are common in English, how they use them, meanings of them, and all of the, okay. Here it is. Cultural phrases. A closer access to what people say normally, you know?
Okay. Well, I just know a piece of cake.
Imagine, okay, a piece of cake. So what is a night owl, in a nutshell, a dropping bucket, you know? Phrasal verbs that are used as a normal speech instead of other words, or adjectives. There's some very interesting stuff here. Some structures that we use in English don't obey the normal rules that we have when we speak. For example, look at this. Not until he arrived home did he realize he didn't have his phone with him. Why is this as a question?
Okay, no. Yes, actually, I have heard it and see it in a lot of movies, and also speaking with American.
Probably because exactly. So here we analyze why, we try to make examples by ourselves, you know, we make a formal speech about it, informal speech about it, which is a casual conversation, trying to adapt it to our normal speech, you know. And the last thing, phrasal verb, we make a profound analysis on phrasal verbs. Like we do massive analysis of phrasal verbs and how to use them in our everyday. So some lists that are very useful, some that are not, some that you can use in that an American person will tell you, you know, and that's a little piece of how we do it. So yeah, okay. As you can see, it's focused on conversation.
Yes, well, vocabulary, conversation. And how to say? How long does this? How to say? How long does this last? Does this level last?
It just lasts 4 months. That's just conversation. There's no exam at the end. It's primarily getting the final evaluation is to have a conversation and to see how you use these expressions when you speak, and if you have the ability to use them.
Okay. Well,
it's like less pressure than B2.
Yeah, well, yes, actually, but well, it's necessary. Well, let me see.
Say less?
What again?
Yes, because there are not exams.
Okay. It's just an evaluation of your own speech, because the Cambridge evaluation for advanced exists, but it is targeted towards students in formal speech, and really we don't need that. What we want is speaking normally. So that's why I don't use the Cambridge assessment in the last level. You know, I use usually these ones.
Yes, and actually, I also would like to take the an official test
Right.
because I want to know what I want to apply for a different position and I really need the score. So I think that I need well I need to present the test.
The IELTS, right?
Sorry.
The IELTS.
Uh,
Which tests?
well, I have a lot of options. I was planning to take the TOEIC or the TOEFL. This ITP. I don't remember
TOEFL
the,
ATP. Okay.
the one that I have presented like 3 or 4 times in my life. So I really familiar with that. So
Good.
maybe I will well I would like to take this one because I already know it. But if not, I was planning to take TOEIC, and I was telling Silvana
Oh,
about
really?
it because I really would like to see what is our progress in a score, no? To have like
Oh,
an official paper. So that's and it's actually it's what we need to apply for a
okay.
position.
Well, actually, because you are majority in this moment, we can also take that into consideration. Let's say you want a training for TOEIC or a training for TOEFL IDP, we can do a targeted course
On
towards
that.
that. Yes,
Yeah,
of course.
yes, but that's the thing that I would like to take both courses maybe because I think that the information that you my kids on my pen again um, uh, the information that you gave me just a few minutes ago it's something interesting because I really would like to develop the speaking.
Oh,
And so I think that it's something really useful, no? But
sure.
on the other hand, I also want to get a really good score. But I think that if with the knowledge that I have at this moment, I can get the score that I want, then I could focus on the speaking.
Oh, so you should, okay, check this out. If you pass the B2 certificate, taking into consideration reading, writing, um,
Listening.
listening and speaking, exactly. That can be your reference to see if you can pass it. But if you want a higher score, the advanced training can be modified into a TOEFL course because many of the grammar that I showed you, excepting phrases, for example, idiomatic phrases and phrasal verbs,
Mhm.
but the structures are actually applied. This inversion that you mentioned about the subtitles, it exists in TOEFL too.
Uh,
Some reduction concepts, that some words that are eliminated in some words and some structure, sorry, appear in TOEFL too. So it's a very similar stuff. What
Okay, okay.
a good reference is this exam, the B2 first. That's
Mhm.
the
Oh,
best reference.
that's horrible.
I know, exactly. That can help you to like really understand if you are able to pass with the score that you need with an equivalent, or you need another training. Because look at this. If we go through the B2 first equivalent equivalency. First, here it is. The B2 first comes from the 160 points from 179, you are considered B2. If you
Okay.
get more than 180 to 190, you are considered C1.
Mhm.
According to these two sections over here, there are equivalents on IELTS and TOEFL.
Mhm.
So if you finish an English first with 160 points, which is the minimum, you are able to get a 72 on the TOEFL IBT, which in scales, TOEFL IBT scales.
Why there are a lot?
Exactly. It's because there's a lot of areas of communication. We don't communicate in the same way for all of it, you know? So we say from 0 to 120. Okay, so in IBT, the limit is from 0 to 120. It means that with B2, 72 and 94 is like upper intermediate.
Okay. Well, that's scale is a little weird because I think I present the other double version. I don't remember. It's ITP. No, I don't.
The ITP,
Yes.
paper-based.
But yes, I think that it would be a good reference. So yes. Well, let me think about it. Let me talk with to Silvana about it, and we will let you know.
Sure, definitely. You have time. You have like I'm gonna give you this week while I interview some people.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
So,
And I want to ask you something, but I don't remember what. Well, if we decide to continue, then you could move like the schedule, and there will be more students, or
or what? What do you mean?
well, sorry, there will be more students in our group, or there will.
Oh, more students in the group. I hope so. I hope so because when my LinkedIn ads are taking a lot of advanced students, you know.
I tried to. What did you ask to? I don't remember what how to how. It's like certified that you have the skills, no? You have like something that you asked to us, but I didn't know how to do it actually.
What do you mean?
I try to. I think that if, there are that you can like enter your skills in LinkedIn, and then people or your contacts can like give you like
A review.
yes, exactly, no.
Yeah, it's so useful. If you can do that, I will be so happy about it.
Actually, I was trying to do that, but I didn't know how to do.
It's so easy. Look, there are two ways. Okay. The first thing is the validations that you have here.
Oh yes, that part, the validation, yeah.
In English, well, in I don't know if you do you have your phone in English or in Spanish?
In Spanish.
In Spanish, okay, because in English it's not validations. I'm using my Spanglish,
Okay.
it's endorsements.
Endorsements, okay.
Endorsements. So these endorsements are you can endorse my abilities if we are first contact.
Ouch.
Your cat,
Sorry. Yes.
right?
Like my ow.
You are suffering so much. Poor thing. Okay. So you can only endorse me if we are
Okay.
first contact. For
Okay.
example, if I go through, I don't know, this guy, Marquez Brownlee, you know, in his name, there is a number 3 over here.
Yes.
Earth. This means that I don't know him. You know what I mean?
Yes. Okay.
In order to endorse me, we need to be first, which is, I don't know, we're going to use, for example, this one. You see?
Yes.
The only way to actually endorse ourselves is being first contact. So for that, you need to enter my personal profile, go through the section more, and here will be a button that says connect. So you need to do two things: follow me and connect.
Yes, I already found the button.
Great. If you can, if Silvana can do it right now, that'll be super cool.
I already.
Nice.
Teacher, I don't have LinkedIn.
You have LinkedIn?
No.
That's great. That's good.
She looked for jobs in the newspaper.
Ah. In the newspaper and the radio.
Yes.
Come on,
I haven't
Silvana.
even looked for a job. I just remember that the one that I'm in, no, my actual job, the
Oh, my current
person in my current
job.
the person that is in charge of humanity resources.
No,
called
human resources.
Human resources. Just call me. I don't know why.
Look at you.
Well, yeah.
So lucky.
Yeah.
Yes, actually,
She
and when
looked
she
at me on
started,
OCC, I think.
Wow.
But I wasn't even searching for it. I just went to the to the veterinary, and then she called me and she told me that she saw my profile on OCC, I think.
Dude,
And
that's
she
crazy.
wanted to know if I was working, and I said no. And she told me that if
Do you
I
want
could go
to?
to an interview tomorrow, well, the next day, and I went. And the same day, she told me that I liked her, and she wanted
she
me
liked
to.
you.
She liked me, yeah, and that she wanted to. No, she wants me to have an interview with the principal. No, the
director
operation director. Yeah.
The manager.
And
Operation manager.
I have that meeting, and he told me that that he liked me.
Yeah.
And he will send me some proofs. Yeah, is it correct to say proofs?
Tests. Some tests.
Yeah, some tests. And that's all. I do the test, but I take the last day to the test. And she was writing me like, Silvana, I just wanted to ask if you have answer to those tests. And when I said that yes, and the next day she calls me. She called me, and she asked me if I could go there the next day, and I went. And she told me that my tests were very good, but for another job. Well,
Right.
Another position, no?
Another position, yeah. And she asked me if I was interested, and I said yes. And then I talked to the other manager.
Yeah, because there are like
I
7.
entered the next day.
Wow, dude. Like it was 2 days of interviews, and then you could actually have a job. So many people wanting that. But the thing is, like, your English helped, didn't it?
No, not really.
The skin color.
Yeah,
the skin color.
No, but maybe I know that Isaac is joking about it, but I think that yes. Well, not of course that it is not everything that matters.
Yeah, no,
But
but for some people or for some companies, it is determinant if you get the job or not. Are you there? I think we lost her, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we have.
how do you don't know what's the name of these like huge meet? There are not meetings, but a huge I don't know where they are many employees. No, how do you say the person who wants an no who is searching for another person to
Recruiter.
work on his company?
You're talking about a
Yeah,
recruiter.
where there are a lot of like a recruiter meeting.
Oh,
No, do you know what I'm talking about?
no, I have no idea what you're talking about.
May I speak in Spanish?
Ah, okay.
es, es que son como, es que no es una junta, es como un como las de OCC, que es que se juntan muchas personas de diferentes compañías y ya te dicen, pues yo ofrezco esto y esto. Y tú vas y puedes hacer ahí mismo, o sea, como postularte, ya después te marcan.
But they're
Como
not
que hablar
meetings,
de
they're
las
like
vacantes.
gatherings, right? It's like an expo or gathering
Yeah.
or
Like
recruiting.
an expo.
Recruiting expos.
Well, that I went
One
there
of them.
because Isaac Backward was searching for a new job, I think. And I saw Kugler and I just went, and one of those people, well, one a missus asked me if I wanted to work there, and I just say that no, that I was curious.
Yeah.
Because I have studied there, and she told me that I should do an interview, and I did that, and that's all.
So it was through a recruiting meeting where you actually got your job.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the newspaper.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we went because I was looking for a job and I didn't find anything, but Silvana got a job.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You were not looking. You were looking for
They
copper, and
just came
you
to me.
found. They just come to you. Yeah. Which
Actually, it was a plan to get a job, to get a job for her.
to get me a job.
She didn't know that, but that was actually the original plan. Well, actually, so in some occasions that's better, don't you think?
Yes,
Some
I
people
really
actually.
prefer to have like a face-to-face
Totally.
interview or contact. So yes, I prefer that.
Yeah, yeah. For some people, it's actually much better. So I would prefer actually to
Yeah.
get a face-to-face conversation before actually hiring somebody. Definitely. So yeah, in the case of Silvana, if you don't have
Yeah, it's so much better.
Well, if you don't have any LinkedIn, no problem. You know, I'm not gonna make you open one. It's just like if you already have it, and I have some of my students actually in my contacts. That's why I have been asking them for endorsements because I want to start promoting myself. I know I actually started promoting myself a couple of months ago as a company. This is my company page, right? And this company page
Yeah, I
contains
remember
all the information.
to send those.
Mhm.
But did you send the personal profile or the company profile?
No, the personal one, because you cannot, there is no way here
Like
to endorse a company, you know?
okay, yeah.
Actually, yeah, there's no way to actually endorse a company.
Mm.
The only way is like to like, to
To share, maybe
comment, share.
to share your how to say? Well, maybe the things that you post.
Exactly, to see the posts and everything, but there's no endorsement here. And on the other one, on the personal one, you can actually endorse it. And there are two things. The first one is what I was telling you is now that we are first contact, if you go to abilities, you can see a button that says validar or endorse in English. That before these buttons didn't appear.
Mm. So I should be able to do it right now.
Yeah. Now that you have that we are contacts or professional contacts,
Oh yes,
the button appears, right? It
yes.
activates. And then you can
Okay.
endorse. Bum, 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 bum. I received the notification and I say thank you and everything.
Okay. Actually, I hardly ever, I don't use LinkedIn often. I just use it to read news,
Right.
and
Right.
that's it.
Which is, yeah, that's precisely the thing. It's a professional or a very serious Facebook. But I have noticed that recruiters and people who takes decisions in companies are actually actively searching for people in this web.
Yes, yes.
So
Actually, I have received like 4 or 5 messages requesting my
I
how to
see
say
it.
my CV, yes,
And that,
or offering me a position if I'm interested in.
look at that.
Yeah.
Mhm. And that's thanks to this. All this information really helps you on that. Mhm.
Okay.
That's why it's so useful to have this active. In my in my case as a freelancer, those are the credentials. There's no way to know if it's good to have a person like me if I don't have presence in online. So
Yes.
that's my intention. So the business page is for ads, and there is another section in my personal page that says prestar servicios or services, right? And here is where the reviews are. So here is where you can actually access and give me a 5-star, of course.
Okay, sure.
You know,
I think that I haven't updated my profile.
I imagine. Yeah, every time you enter LinkedIn, you can see new stuff to put. No,
Yes.
that happens. That happens to me. So yeah, here are some of my students that have actually done it, and yeah, I'm gonna be waiting for yours.
Okay, sure.
Good, 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 good. So think about it, guys. I had a question about coming back to the previous topic. I had a question to Silvana about the test that you want to present, which was the the target, the original target, because I remember when you contacted me, you spoke about TOEFL. Are we still on that track, Silvana, with you?
I just want the easy one.
You just want to see one.
No, the easy.
The easiest one.
The easiest one. Yes, you can have a kindergarten test. You can have an A1 with the abilities of Mary was walking in the park.
No, but actually, I don't remember why you enrolled to this course.
Why what?
Now, why Silvana enrolled to this course? You, well, obviously,
Me?
she wants, you want to practice and improve, no? But did you have or do you have like a
Yeah, it was
specific target?
because
Target.
no, yeah. Do you remember that most of the positions that you sent me ask for
Like you told.
I don't know, I don't remember, like 500 and I don't know,
And
like
80.
40, 500, yeah, 500, no, like 500, 40 or 50, something like that. Score on
Like,
TOEFL ITP. Well, I just remember the TOEFL ITP because that's the
ITP.
one that I have. So I wanted to improve that schedule, that score, because that was the one that I saw.
Okay.
But now that Isaac is talking about TOEIC, I
Mhm.
think that, well, you said that is easier than the other one. I remember that um, the day that we have the TOEFL exam, I wasn't pretty pretty good because we went to a party the day before,
Mhm.
and I remember that in the part of the I was super, I don't know, my brain doesn't it
Didn't.
wasn't
Ah,
work didn't work so well because
pretty
I
bad.
I think that I couldn't catch many ideas, and that's why I thought that maybe practicing and um, I don't know, just having more information and talking 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 it, because I almost never talk in English
Mhm.
since I left um, the last course that I did like 10 years ago.
Can you repeat that? I
So
didn't understand
I
that part.
just wanted to practice because
Wait,
if I
wait.
had an interest,
I didn't understand that part about talking English in the last course I didn't understand that.
well, I haven't talked English. Well, obviously these months that I we have been in this course,
Mhm.
but if I try, I think on my last moments talking in English,
Mhm.
it maybe there were like 10 years ago when I was in another course,
Mhm.
because I haven't practiced since that. Well, I didn't have the, is it correct to say necessity?
The
Well,
I
not
didn't
the,
need. It's better to say I didn't need it.
yeah, I didn't need it.
Mhm.
And I don't know, maybe day by day, it's getting harder to talk in English because it isn't the same when you haven't practiced in a while,
Totally.
and the vocabulary I forgot a lot of vocabulary because I didn't practice. So I wanted to practice and I wanted um, to have a better score.
Mhm.
And I also told you that if I had an interview,
Mhm.
maybe I couldn't explain myself
Exactly.
or
Mhm.
I made a lot of mistakes because I usually speak in English.
Yeah, in
Uh,
case you
as
needed it.
we saw last class, I almost, yeah, I usually use words for plural or singular
Right.
as it was the same, or those kind of mistakes.
Precisely. That's the thing that we need to correct. And that's what I want to work on. These weeks, these are technically my focus. Trying to get to fix that, you know. So look, I was asking you about your previous result because if you took the 500, starting from 500, look, over here. Here are the 500s, no? From 500 to 600. Okay.
Last time I have 523.
Okay, perfect. The PBT is the one that you are talking about, or ITP. Okay. PBT, ITP is the same because it's paper-based.
Okay.
Okay. We say that equivalent to IELTS, TOEIC, and TOEFL, we don't have. No. PBT, I want to compare it with Cambridge.
Cambridge is like the one that
That I train.
that
The
we
one-
did ago.
Exactly. Mhm. Precisely.
I know.
So
I haven't
you-
done other exam like that.
You had it passed.
I hadn't.
Had it. Competent user, CFR, overall score, TOEFL level. There are no conversion rates. Skill score converter. Convert from the CFR level to key Cambridge, no. There's no TOEFL converter, Jesus Christ, for an equivalency. Probably because they are comparing it with IELTS. Cambridge exam, CEFR, yeah, here it is. And CBT, okay, here it is. TOEFL paper, this is the one that you are talking about, okay? If you got 520, which is in this scale, according to the last TOEFL you took, you are B2. CEFR B2 minus probably. And it's equivalent to the first certificate. Which is interesting is that from the 477, you are actually first certificate, which is B2. This this square over here and this square over here determines the Cambridge certificates that I trained you on. So if you pass these two, if you have a high score on the first certificate, the exam that I am teaching you, then you're gonna get max the 550. And if you surpass the 550, that's even better.
Actually, in my last TOEFL, I got 577, I think.
Look at you. 577. So you are somewhere over here.
No, oh yes, no, we don't, no.
5 and 77. Ah, no, yes, somewhere over here.
Yeah, yes, I said no.
Yeah. Yeah, so because the corrections, the vocabulary that you use is very
He's a native.
Oh, yes.
He's a native. Yeah.
A
No, I
Mexican
mean,
native.
a Mexican native, yeah. No, you use a lot of advanced words because it's very formal. That's the strength on your speech.
Yes, but it is because the experience. Because
Exactly.
practice, yeah.
Precisely. Now you need to make it more
And,
conversational.
and now that I'm complementing this, well, that experience with this
Something.
training, I think that I can improve that.
That's my intention. Mhm. That's precisely my intention. Mhm. Have you ever used a word list?
What?
Have you ever used a word list to get to know the vocabulary?
Like
Mhm.
Oh,
the
yeah.
one that has
The like, no, no, what? No, yes, I have, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Last class, I shared this. Ah, no, no, no. I shared a B1 list with Jimena, but I didn't send her the B2. I wanted her to focus on the B1 list. So B2 vocabulary list. Look over here. Yeah, I wanted to send you this one. This is a list of words that can help you understand what words you need and the words that you are missing to be able to implement these words when you are writing.
Mm. Yes. Awesome. Yes, it seems there is the word. What is the second column?
The second column is the family, the word family.
Oh, okay.
It is
Physical
a
verb.
preposition, verb, no,
Phrasal verb.
consist of phrasal verb,
Yeah.
phrasal verb, noun, adjective, phrasal verb, phrasal verb, phrasal verb.
Okay. The pronunciation.
The
Oh,
pronunciation,
that's
definition,
really
and
useful.
example.
Actually, there are a lot of things, or there are a lot of resources on internet. That are the things that uh, I don't want to search for them. I want
Well, I can
I
search them for
want
you.
yes, I want things easier.
What I want, that's exactly, don't worry. That's why you are paying me to do, okay? So I have this for you, and I'm gonna send it right now,
Okay,
okay?
thanks.
But the other thing that I want you to do, and I need you to do, is something that I showed you at the beginning of the course. At the beginning of the course, we talked about the Oxford Learners Dictionary and the word
Yes.
lists. Yes, I can search it for you, but you need to open it.
Yeah.
You need to open it. I mean, from that on, I depend on you. This is it. So again, we filter this information from A1 to B2 with Kansas C1.
Oh, that's great, actually.
Actually, it's great. It's super useful. Look, only filter by B2. And the words, I bet, are very similar. Let's check. Absence, no, they're different actually. Academic, accessible, accompany, account, accurate, accuse. I really, really like this one, this list. I prefer actually this one better than this one. Yes, of course. It has a lot of very useful words. So you should access this list, start checking which words you understand, which words you don't, and then try to make examples so you can use these words in writing. Let's say that the last process that your brain does is be able to use it in a writing and speaking. Right?
Yes.
But the first thing that your brain does is recognizing these words in a different area. First, I teach you the word and we use it 2 or 3 times. Then your brain starts recognizing this word in a different place. And then after the 10th or 11th repetition, you start using it magically. So what you need to do is open the door to the first 3 examples and then start recognizing the word some other place so you can actually use it at some point with all these words. If you want to pass and you want a higher score, you need to master more words. That's the only way.
Yes, yes, actually.
What do you think about this?
Yes, I think you're right. I really need to expand my vocabulary.
Both of
Yes.
you. Both of you, because you have very good structure. So now we
Okay.
need to
More or
use.
less.
Well, your questions are very interesting. Yeah, I want to practice those questions with you because Jesus Christ. But the rest of it is pretty cool. So
Okay.
you need to fill up with vocabulary. There's no better access to word to better score if you don't have vocabulary.
Yes. Yes, especially I remember the part of the reading, for example, and there were a lot of vocabulary that I didn't know.
Look at that, which is exactly what I want to practice with you. I have you over here some B2 reading tests. With a lot of vocabulary that actually helps you check it. So we have a lot of work to do, bro.
Yes.
Bro and sis. There's a lot of work to do, but I need you to open them. You know, you cannot. You should be like investing your time when checking these lists, checking how many examples you need and everything. I'm going to show you what I did with yesterday with Jimena, because I had the same conversation with her, but with B1 vocabulary. And the way that I showed her was opening a personal, what's the name? Look at this. Here, a personal glossary. Okay. Yesterday we talked about how to build a personal glossary and follow up in spontaneous moments in your life. Because if you understand these words, what happens with our vocabulary is that we stop watching the words after we read it one time. And that's the reason we forget these words. No? So what I want you to do is to remember those words for the future. The best way is by having a personal glossary of all the words that you understand here and there. Let's imagine that you know what pile is, but probably Silvana doesn't know what pile is. So I cannot give you the same vocabulary as Silvana, because probably you know this, and you know this, but Silvana knows this, and this. So how can if I give you the same list to you, it's like, dude, you're gonna have like the sensation that you know all the words, and it's not necessary for you to check it. No?
Yes.
That's why we cannot work on the same list. What we should do is highlighting the words that I don't remember or the words that I really don't know and focus on those. Copy the definition or use a synonym. Definition or synonym. And then do this. Copy 2 examples from the dictionary. And then find other 3 examples in spontaneous sources.
Okay.
These 3 examples activate your alert sense of the language. And you can actually start looking for sources in English. What can be? It can be a movie, it can be captions, subtitles, lyrics of songs, magazines, TED Talks, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. It could be a meme. It doesn't matter where the source is. What matters is that you find those words in a different source.
Yes, it was so interesting because yes, I remember that when really a long time ago, I started to read a book, and I had a notebook, and I used to note the words that I didn't know, and I look for them on the dictionary, and then I wrote the meaning. But the thing is that I didn't practice them,
And you
so
forgot them, no?
yes, that was a problem.
That's the problem with it. And this is the same problem with all the rest of words that I showed you on the videos. Even though we watched the videos and even though we saw the videos like 3-4 times, we forgot the words because we were not really searching for these words actively in other sections. We stopped the class and we started watching a movie in Spanish. That's why it's like something that we like blocks our progress, or not doesn't block it, but slows it down. And if we want to accelerate it, we can use the our life as a source.
Yes, well, to surround ourselves of English.
I have a student in California, and he shows me his glossary with sentences that his boss says. You know,
Yeah.
so when he's speaking with his boss, he's writing, he's taking notes.
Yes, that is actually really useful. Well, I mean, I think that the best way to learn or to practice is with a native American, well, to native English speaker.
Exactly. Especially when he listens a word that we saw in class, he's like, "Oh, I remember this word," and he starts writing. So that's the way. And if you want me to check your glossary, you can use Google
Docs.
Nope.
Oh.
Something more like something easier to access than Google Docs. The best way is, look at this. $6:00. This one.
Okay, what's that? Share now, listen now.
Do you have an iPhone?
No, I have an Android.
Then that's your option. What about Silvana? Do you have an iPhone?
No, she has an Android.
Oh, perfect. So that's your option.
Okay.
Google Docs. This
Yes,
Google, what you can do with Google.
Why are you laughing?
Yeah, we are not laughing, Silvana. But with Google Keep, what you can do is
Isaac laughed.
Isaac laughed. Yes, I heard that. So the easy way of this is we can collaborate in the same note, and I can see the changes that you do on the notes. The difference between Google Docs and this one is that this is a more mobile and portable way to take notes.
Yes, well, yes. If you are using your cell phone, yeah.
Exactly. So whenever you hear an example, you take your phone, you open Google Keep, and you write the example right away. If you are a person of notes, of physical notes with a pen, well, okay, that's how I did it. I had a notebook with me all the time. So that really depends on you. If you are a digital guy or you can take physical notes, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you start doing this. You got it?
Oh, yes. There's a lot of things to do.
Well, there's not a lot. With this demo, with this glossary, sorry, it becomes super easy.
Yes, yes, it's really helpful. Well, it's a good way to practice more and to remember to stick the words in your brain.
Precisely. Precisely. And that's what I want. Whenever you're using these words when you're speaking, you have now used structures. That's perfect. Now let's implement words. And we are going to practice it on a reading section. But what we're going to do is tomorrow is Wednesday and then Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to do theory.
Okay.
Friday, we're going to do listening. Monday, we're going to do reading. So this vocabulary, this counts as the reading section, what I needed to tell you yesterday. And we're gonna skip the reading section for Friday. Let's do the change because we have done a lot of listen. Okay. So tomorrow we're gonna have some theory about the exam, structures that can help us, and structures, no, expressions. I wanted to check expressions with you. Expressions, B2 expressions that are super useful.
Okay.
For the exam. So that's our next target. Let's finish for today.
Okay, well, today was interesting.
Yes. Please open your file. Start a personal glossary. You too, Silvana, and give me access so I can see it.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
I will.
Please. That's gonna be your for tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you. And we will let you know.
Please. Please, please.
Uh,
All right, guys. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good evening.
Okay, you too. See you.
Bye, guys.